Can you hear my dog snoring? She's so loud. I'm Bianca, and this is my dog Miley. I am a food blogger based in New York. I like to make cute desserts like the pictures here, and a lot of the recipes are made to be super easy so that you can also recreate them at home. After posting my 2023 income report, I got a lot of questions about blogging, content creation, who I am, all that stuff. So I thought I'd answer all of these questions in this video. This question says, how did you get into baking? In high school, I loved baking. I would make macarons like almost every day. I didn't go to culinary school, pastry school, or anything like that. I decided to pursue STEM. I went to SUNY Oswego and I graduated with a BS in biology, minor in chemistry. I moved to Boston to be a biology researcher, and during that time, I didn't have to spend 24/7 at school anymore, so I spent my free time baking. I got back into my hobby. I decided to finally start my website, Bites by Bianca, because I don't know, it was always a dream of mine to have my own, even though I had no idea what that entailed. I started my food blog just for funsies on the side. But with biology research and my blog, I was also applying to med school. As you can tell, I'm not in med school. I applied twice. It was really hard to get rejected, but it didn't work out, which now I'm very grateful for. But it took me 2 or 3 years to reach this point mentally where I'm at peace with that not happening. And I didn't want to apply again. I decided to lean into baking and go from there. I knew I loved baking, but I knew it was naive to think about opening my own bakery because I never had kitchen experience. So while working as a biology researcher, I started working part-time on the weekends as a pastry cook. After doing that for like about half a year, I moved from full-time research to full-time baking. I did that for about a year. I job hopped a bunch because work environment at my last bakery was not having a good time for a few factors. Number one, insertional Achilles tendonitis in both of my ankles. It hurt to be on my feet all day. If you're not familiar with like being a baker in a professional setting, it's a lot of physical work, heavy lifting, crazy hours. All my joints were so sore by the end of every day. So that, along with the work culture where I was, it just wasn't worth it. My ankles hurt with every step I took. The people at the bakery were stressful. The work was stressful. The hours were stressful. Just like so many things. But I won't get too much into that. Maybe in the future. I didn't like the work culture so much that I actually quit without having a backup plan. I did have savings for the next few months. Like, I don't promote quitting without a backup plan, but I was just so miserable there that I just had to leave. So I ended up moving back home with my parents at the ripe age of 25. And where I live right now, currently with my parents, it's really hard to get by without a car. I didn't have a car because 1, I never really drove. 2, I never needed one because I lived in the city. So that made getting a job here difficult. And I didn't want to work as a baker because my ankles were killing me. So I decided to apply to a few food media jobs, had some interviews, but didn't work out. And I was like, okay, I have my blog. Let's lean into that. I knew how lucrative blogging could be just based off other TikToks, Instagrams, speaking to other bloggers. They were bringing in stable income over the course of the year and making 6 figures. I moved home. I didn't have that many bills to worry about anymore, like no more rent. So I thought, what better time than now to really focus on Bites by Bianca. So for 2023, that's what I did. I decided to go all in on my blog. My mental health was not great. I was like so stressed that I wasn't bringing income in for like the first half of the year. I felt like a failure because I wasn't working as a baker, I wasn't working as a biology researcher, I wasn't in med school. There are just like so many things happening in my brain. It took me a while to get to the point where I could schedule my work days and like really stick to a schedule that works for me. It's a long story, but I went from STEM to baking to blogging. I wouldn't have it any other way. Someone said, I want to be like you, but I don't know how to start. So how did you start being a food content creator? If you want to start, I recommend just starting. You can use your phone. There are like so many content creators who make a lot of money just by using their phone and not like some fancy equipment. Start taking pictures of your food, start taking videos, and only then you'll understand how editing works and what styles you like, what styles you don't like, or what content you do like to make and what content you don't like to make. I started off by taking pictures and videos with my phone, recording anything that I made, posting on my page, and then starting my website. And I learned everything I know from like YouTube or online courses that I paid for. I really just following a bunch of different people, styles that you do like, styles that you might want to try, and then just trying it out for yourself. You know, when I first started, my stuff did not look like this. It looked like this, and like I have this funny video where like I was doing an overhead shot of me painting bread and my head literally blocked the camera because it was my first time making a video like that. So you will make mistakes and you just have to learn from them. How you found your niche. I didn't find my niche until maybe a year into my account. I was just baking a bunch of things, you know, like sourdough waffles, I was painting bread, I was making macarons. It was only until I made pig snickerdoodles I saw the amount of likes increasing like crazy. At that point, I think I only had maybe 100 to 200 likes per post, but that one, it ended up getting like a few thousand. So I really analyzed that post. Okay, people like cute baking. Maybe I'll turn that into my thing because I already do like cute baking. I was like, let me try this out and see where it goes. So I started making frog cookies. I made a frog cake, lots of frogs, just so many frogs. And my account just started growing. And I went from like under 2,000 to 34,000 in a year. And now I'm starting this year with 70,000 followers. TikTok, I went from like 2 to 22,000 in a year. And then YouTube, I'm under 1,000. I don't really post there as much, but I'm working on it. So I didn't have my niche until about a year into it, which is totally fine. Like I said, like you don't know what you like and what you don't like until you start doing it. This question says, what resources helped you the most? I really recommend these courses if you're a complete beginner and you're willing to invest money and time into these classes. I loved Foodtography School. It didn't really help me understand the settings on my camera. I learned that on YouTube by looking up my model, but it helped me understand styling. A bit of lighting is very basic. If you understand how your camera works and some styling already, then maybe advanced Foodtography School is meant more for you. But I really liked it because I was a complete beginner. Photography School includes fundamentals of photography, composition, lighting, branding, editing, social media, marketing. You're in a private Facebook group with a bunch of people who have taken her courses, and like we all help each other out. I like that group a lot. They also have one meant for smartphones if you don't have a professional camera. A course that I recently took and really liked was cooking with keywords. This is also for super beginner bloggers, which I pretty much am, even though I started my blog in 2021-ish. I had no idea what I was doing in regards to SEO. I was kind of just writing my posts with the recipe and like throwing it up in the air. But with this course, it helps you get a lot more traffic off of Google and other search engines. It helps you plan out your recipes and like know that, okay, people are really Googling this recipe because they want to learn how to make it. And my blog would rank well on Google, so maybe I should write that recipe or do something based off of that. Since starting the course, I already revamped a few of my old blog posts. I'm making sure my new posts are very search engine optimized, because there's no point in writing a post if like Google's not going to pick it up. A lot of big bloggers make like thousands of dollars off of the ads on their website. That is why some recipe posts are so long, because they write paragraphs and paragraphs, including keywords that are related to the recipe. You have like an X amount of keywords that relate to chocolate chip cookies. They're ingredients that would be expected to be in the recipe. Maybe it's really helpful, like you have an FAQ section. You explain some things behind chocolate chip cookies, like the science behind it. And Google will like that. It'll pick up those keywords. It'll see your website as something that people will want to read. And that explains why some posts are so long, because we are trying to rank for Google. I didn't know anything about SEO, and I'm excited to see the benefits from it. Someone asked me, how big is your team? The Bites by Bianca team is just one. It's just me. I would like to hire out in the future, probably to manage my Pinterest. But I don't know. I really like doing all the other stuff that comes with it. Like, I love the videography. I love the photography. I like writing my posts. I like writing the captions. Maybe in the future, if someone could manage the brand deals for me, that would be great. This one says, how do you get paid as a food blogger? I have multiple streams of income. Number one is paid partnerships. That's when you see the paid partnership tag on Instagram. Brands will hire me to make a recipe using their product. It could be ingredients, kitchen tools, or gadgets, and me making a recipe revolving around that. And if they want, they can use my content later on and use it for like their own advertising. I also make money through affiliate links like Amazon links or linking to the courses I described earlier. Next is blog ad revenue, and that is like the pop-up ads that you see in blogs. What are the hardest parts of being a food blogger? When I first started, I didn't really have friends in the food blogger space, so it was like intimidating learning it all by myself and not knowing anyone to talk to. I learned a lot from YouTube and Google and other bloggers from like posting about it on their own websites. But once I was immersed in the food space and I did make friends, I didn't feel so alone. It is hard being self-employed and running things by yourself and being so unsure all the time until something sticks. Sell baked goods versus content creation. Thank you. Did sell from my house. I would take custom orders, but donate all the profits. I saw this as just like me learning how to bake more efficiently with time, with ingredients, with batches, and just practice baking. It was very tiring, also because it wasn't my full-time thing I was doing on the side. I had a full-time job, the part-time job, my blog, stuff like that. And I wasn't charging a lot. It was like for my neighbors or people in Boston. I like content creation because I like the videography and the photography aspects of it. So I think for this, if you really love custom orders and being creative in that way, really find fulfillment in it, then like go for it. But if you're okay with like just doing photo and video and doing like 1 to 2 batches for yourself and you think that's fun, then go for that. If you don't know what you like, then try both and see what you prefer. Do you enjoy what you do, or would you rather be in another position? I really love where I am right now, but the thing is, where I was in other steps of my life, I also enjoyed that time a lot, even though they were challenging. When I was in biology research, I didn't find it like super fulfilling, but I loved the people I worked with. I enjoyed the flexibility of my job. I enjoyed the stability of it. When I worked as a baker, I loved baking. It was just like physically taxing and tiring, and the pay wasn't great. And when I was applying to med school, that was just difficult all around, but it was exciting in that aspect. Like, oh, maybe I can go to this state and go to this college. And right now, I super enjoy what I do. I get to make my own schedule. I get to work with brands that I like. I do struggle with not knowing what the next paycheck will be. I don't have super long-term partnership set up yet, and I don't have like monthly income expected every month. So I would like to be in that position, but we'll get there. What do you like to watch on TV? I have been watching Pretty Little Liars nonstop. I never finished the show. I think I only got to like season 3 and then I stopped. But now I've just been like watching it every second of the day as like my background noise. And I'm almost done. I also love reality TV. Like I love Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, Botched. I really love all those guilty pleasure shows. How to get brand deals. How did you get partnerships? How did you secure partnerships? How to negotiate. How do you know which businesses to reach out to, or do they reach out to you? In the food space, what I did was like, I opened up my cabinets and I was like, oh, okay, I use this brand a lot. I like this brand. I trust this brand. Let me reach out and see if they want to work together. So you can like actually pitch to these brands, and you can do this by finding their email or DMing them on Instagram, which is what I've done a few times. You can just like write them an email. It's like, hi, I'm XYZ. I am this kind of creator. I love your brand. I've been using it for blah, 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 blah. I was wondering if you have any campaigns available this year or have room to collaborate. I'd love to send you some ideas I have through a pitch deck or my email, and then go from there. Some brands will have automated messages in response to your DM, but someone should get back to you at some point saying like, oh, like send an email to this person, fill out this Google form with more information about yourself, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, there are creator platforms that you can use to apply for campaigns. So there's this one called #paid. There's another one called Crafted, Popular Pays. But basically, you go on those websites and brands will post campaigns like Cheetos is looking for recipe content, or Cheetos is looking for this type of content. And then you'll click on that campaign, you'll type your ideas, how much money you want for it, and then you'll wait for them to get back to you, which could take forever, like 1 to 4 weeks sometimes. So you wait for them to answer you. They usually come back with negotiations. You go back and forth, and then you get to work on the project. A lot of my partnerships were through creator platforms like that, or people reaching out to me on Instagram or emailing me. I'd like to end the FAQ with some goals for 2024. I have a few goals. One goal would be making more money off blog ad revenue, besides just like making most of my income from partnerships. Another one is to work with some brands that I worked for in 2023. Outside of work, I really want to make more in-person friends. Working from home kind of stops that from happening because I don't have like a workplace. I think it'd be nice to have like a little friend group that could hang out with me and my dog, Miley. Spend more time with my family. And that's it. Miley and I want to thank you for watching this. I hope you learned a little bit more about me and content creating, maybe answer some questions that you didn't know that you had. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment, write me an email, DM me on Instagram. You can check the box below for the courses I took, links to my blog, my favorite kitchen tools, yada, yada, yada.